Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving straight into a really critical public interest litigation, a PIL, that's now before India's Supreme Court.
Right.
It's challenging the government's ethanol blending program.
Yeah.
And this is something that probably affects you directly, maybe without you even realizing it.
Exactly. It touches on the fuel you put in your vehicle almost every day. And the core issue is, well, are you getting the full picture?
Our mission here is to break down this legal challenge. It specifically targets the mandated sale of petrol blended with 20% ethanol, that's E20.
And why it matters so much to, frankly, millions of vehicle owners. What's actually being asked of the court here?
Yeah, imagine filling up your tank, thinking you know what you're buying, but there's a key detail missing, a detail that might be affecting your car's health, maybe even your wallet. So the petitioner, advocate Akaksha Malhotra, argues this E20-only situation violates fundamental rights. How exactly does making only E20 available without the ethanol-free option infringe on rights?
Well, that's the crux of it. The argument is that without real public awareness that petrol isn't, 100% petrol anymore.
Right.
And crucially, without the option of getting ethanol-free petrol, or EO, which many older vehicles need,
Okay.
it directly bumps up against your right to an informed choice. That's under the Consumer Protection Act of 2019. It's basically non-disclosure. A material fact wasn't shared.
You mentioned vehicle compatibility. Is this just a few older models, or is it a bigger issue? Like, how many vehicles might actually struggle with E20?
That's a key point in the PIL. It argues it's potentially a vast number of vehicles.
Really?
Yeah, many manufactured before April 2023. And interestingly, even some newer ones, like certain BSVI-compliant vehicles.
The latest standards.
Right, even some of those, maybe only a couple of years old, might struggle with a 20% blend, even if they were perhaps okay with the earlier E10 blend.
And it's not just about whether the car runs, is it? The PIL mentions other problems, like efficiency and damage.
Exactly. The use of E20, it's alleged, can hit fuel efficiency pretty hard. And worse, it might lead to corrosion.
Corrosion. Of what parts?
Things like fuel lines, plastic, and rubber components within the fuel system. We're talking potential premature wear and tear.
Wow. But hang on, wasn't the whole point of ethanol blending partly environmental? To reduce pollution?
That's the irony of the PIL highlights.
Yeah.
Yes, the goal might be greener fuel, but if your car isn't compatible and becomes less fuel efficient...
You burn more fuel to go the same distance.
Precisely. So you end up burning more fuel, which could counterintuitively lead to more pollution, not less.
So the real-world impact for you, the listener, could be...
What?
Damaged engines, lower mileage.
Potentially, yes. Lower mileage, higher repair bills if things start to corrode or wear out. And there's even a concern about insurance claims potentially being denied.
Denied. Why?
Well, if the damage is traced back to using a fuel type your vehicle wasn't technically designed for, it gets complicated.
This lack of transparency really seems to stand out, especially when you look internationally. How do other places handle this?
It's quite a contrast. In places like the US or the EU, you can usually still find ethanol-free petrol if you need it.
EO is available.
Right. And crucially, where they do sell blended fuels, it's clearly labeled. Big signs on the pump telling you the ethanol percentage.
But not here.
Often not, or not clearly enough, according to the PIL. You might just see petrol and assume it's, well, just petrol, and only the blended stuff is sold.
And the price hasn't dropped either, has it? Even though 20% isn't petrol anymore.
That's another point raised. That economic benefit of using cheaper ethanol instead of petrol doesn't seem to be passed down to the consumer at the pump.
Okay, so given all these points, the choice issue, the potential damage, the lack of clear info, the price, what specific actions is the PIL asking the Supreme Court to order?
It's asking for several key things. First, pretty straightforward. Make ethanol-free petrol, EO, available again at all fuel stations.
Give people the choice back.
Exactly. Second, clear labeling. Put the ethanol content right there on the pumps, on the dispensers, so you know what you're buying.
Makes sense. What else?
Third, information at the point of sale. Some way to inform consumers while they're refueling whether their specific vehicle is actually compatible with E20.
That might be tricky logistically, but I see the point.
Yeah. Fourth, get the Ministry of Consumer Affairs involved. Make sure they're enforcing consumer protection rules and maybe issuing advisories about this.
Okay. And the last one.
Finally, they're asking for a proper nationwide study to really assess the impact of E20 on things like fuel efficiency and wear and tear, specifically in vehicles that weren't designed for it.
Right, to get some hard data on the scale of the problem.
Precisely.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening to this?
I think it's a really potent reminder of how Government policies, even ones with maybe good intentions like promoting biofuels, can have these complex, sometimes unforeseen consequences for individuals. And it really highlights just how crucial transparency and careful implementation are. You need to consider the real-world impact on consumers.
Absolutely. And this deep dive really leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? Something for you to chew on. How much information do we actually have a right to know when we're making everyday choices, like filling our cars? And maybe more importantly, what are the hidden costs to our vehicles, our wallets, maybe even the environment, when that information just isn't there?